Your pain is my pain on the AFGC on AMBC. Remember, if you like the videos, like, subscribe, comment, share, support the channel if you want. I appreciate it. Thanks. Calling out supposed experts of Street Fighter. I guess, dude. I've been in bed all day and I read this shit in my fucking brain. But we'll try to make this video a little bit more interesting besides reading this kind of stupid shit. So this expert of Street Fighter, the Fizz, talking about how my video is so much nonsense because talking about the beginning where some character's strengths is crouching under a heavy punch. This whole argument is so unrelated to Street Fighter because being able to hit a crouching opponent is the norm for nearly every move. Well, there you go. You already proved you know nothing. This supposed Street Fighter expert, have you ever played other Street Fighter games? Do you know that the video is talking about homogenization? So you're admitting that newer Street Fighter 6, where every move hits everybody the same, is homogenized. Like, what is this guy trying to prove? Are you proving that I'm right? Or are you admitting that you have never played Street Fighter before Street Fighter 6? Did you ever play Street Fighter 2? Street Fighter 3? Street Fighter Alpha games? Like, what in the... Can you imagine, like, oh... And then he goes on, oh, you're so unintelligent. You know, you make a baby voice. Dude, I make the fucking baby voice. The Pikachu voice. To show that even when I'm fucking with you guys, I can talk in a stupid fucking voice. Me sick in and out of the hospital like I am. And you guys cannot fucking even compare it to me. It's crazy. You can't keep up with a simple fucking conversation, dude. I like how he says, oh, you know, people being able to duck a heavy punch is not a special move. I like how he kind of like didn't realize I'm talking about characters poking. Yes. Some characters in old Street Fighter. Did you watch any of these videos? Do you know what the fuck I'm talking about? Yes. If you were to take more traditional ideas of Street Fighter before Street Fighter 6, which is apparently the only game you've ever fucking played, not everyone had the same fucking normals that just, oh, I have a standing normal to post. Yeah. That was the whole point what I was getting at. You fucking retard. Jesus fucking Christ. So you're admitting, yes, it's homogenized now, that everyone has pokes that hit you while you're ducking. Yeah, that's homogenization, bro. You fucking proved me right. Thank you. That's the whole point. Are you fucking retarded? Don't answer that. Fucking this guy's talking about how intelligent he is and all this kind of shit. Can't even fucking keep up with talking about how everyone... Oh my God. You're admitting what I said. You've never played other Street Fighters before, I guess. Fucking retard. And then this guy, cancels to break DI or using the super. He starts talking about me. He's like, yes, I literally said it's the fucking meter. It's my meter versus your meter. I literally fucking said it in the video. Did you watch? No, you didn't. And before I get into this, I like this too. This Jackie Ryder guy, I forgot to say this. You know, I forgot to post this. That guy, oh yeah, hey Clayton, I'm sorry. I realized you didn't actually do all those things that or people said you did, you know what I mean? And I was just afraid to, I thought, people would fuck with me if I like called them out in Discord. So anyway, I just thought that's funny that this guy, he's like, yeah, I know you didn't do any of these things that people lied about you, but well, I wasn't good for that. I was worried about the people in the Discord. Yeah, people lying about people. Yeah, you're worried about, whatever. The point is, the dude the whole time knew I didn't do the shit I was accused of. But he just decided, oh, I'm afraid because I need Discord friends, so I'm just going to let people lie about you, even though I know nothing ever happened, right? So fuck you. Anyway. So, do we need to show this again? It's like fucking retards, dude. My God, my brain, dude. An emergency C-section is fucking required, dude, to remove you, right? So again, we're talking about meter versus meter. Yeah. That's what I said. I said this right from the fucking get-go. When people were talking about things like drive impact and all this kind of shit, people were like, oh yeah, drive impact, people are going to be jumping away from it once they play it all the time. They'll be throwing it and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, no, they fucking won't. This game is totally fucking designed around my meter versus your meter in every single fucking aspect of it, dude. Characters are already so homogenized, like that fucking idiot. I'm like, everyone already has the same pokes. You know what I mean? Same pokes, quotation marks. Like, you can't duck it. Yes, you fucking retard, the Fizz, who I guess he's never played another Street Fighter game. I guess he did not know that there used to be characters that poked you and you could not just duck it. That was like, that kind of made your character special. If your character had pokes that they could not duck, that was a special attribute to the character, dude. You know what I mean? That's called homogenization. When every character has pokes that you just can't duck, that's homogenization. Thank you for proving me right. Yet you're trying to tell me how unintelligent I am and irrational I am and how you're an expert on Street Fighter. You've never played any other Street Fighter, apparently. Fucking retard. Anyway, so I said the whole game is just going to be my meter versus your meter. And yeah, there are very rare instances, and I said this is going to be one of the only thing that's going to be interesting if you think about games on like a fucking deeper level. There's going to be instances where you're going to be like, oh, well, I don't want to go to burnout, but I have this invincible move. I could use this EX move here, but I could use one of my supers that are normally just combo fodder. And yes, supers are generally combo fodder. I fucking said it. I said I was afraid that's what was going to happen, and it did happen. Yes, you can be like, oh, well, you know, JP uses super sometimes, or maybe Blanca does, or maybe Guile does. But guess what? Generally, yes, supers are generally used for combo fodder. You know what I mean? Which means that the supers they're basically just aesthetically different because they're almost always used the same way, generally speaking. Didn't say 100% of the time, but just generally speaking, people use supers just as a combo finisher, right? But I said there's going to be rare instances, and like I said, it's going to be one of the only interesting thing if you think about fighting games on a grander scale, if you know anything about video games, right? And what I say, you do see matches sometimes like, oh, well, if I use my EX meter to be invincible, you know what I mean, I'm going to go into burnout. But I could use this super that normally, you know what I mean, I'm using for a bigger level 3 super combo fodder, so I'll use that. And sometimes you do see stuff like that, but those are the rare instances. Yes, in those rare instances, that is a interesting thing. Because again, this entire game is just my meter versus your meter, dude. Oh, I say I have a drive impact. Well, how do I want to counter drive impact? What did the community say? What did the community at large say this game is going to be like? Oh, drive impact is going to suck. No one's ever going to be able to beat drive impact, or no one's ever going to get hit by drive impact because you'll just jump it and you'll throw it every time. And I'm like, no, dude, you can tell. It's like, dude, the most obvious way to beat someone's drive impact is you're going to use your meter. My meter versus your meter. It's almost like a card game. Like, that's why I said I made that card game. And I was like, oh, well, I'm saving my card for this, but I'm going to save my card for this. You know, and blah, blah. My thing versus your thing, right? Oh, well, I might go into EX. I might go into burnout if I beat your drive impact. So I'm going to use my super. So now I use this part of my move. My meter versus your meter, my meter versus this meter. Oh, well, maybe I want to save more meter for drive rush because the characters are so homogenized to get more advantage than normal. We always have to use drive rush. Well, I want to use drive rush here. Well, maybe I want to save some of that drive rush meter because I want to do a fucking, Slimer, you know what I mean? Maybe I want to save meter for Slimer. Maybe I want to feel like I said, if that is what makes Street Fighter 6 interesting to you, so be it. And I said that. I even made with the guys who I hate when you make silly voices. Oh, Bob, I hate when you make silly voices. I hate when you make silly voices, Bob. Oh, Bob, I hate your voice. I make these stupid voices because I can make the stupid voices just to like fuck with you guys because it's so fucking obvious how the game is going to pump out and come out, dude. Pump it. Pump it. I don't know where I don't know, pump it. What am I thinking? Pump it. I don't know. I'm fucking tired, dude. I've been in bed all day. Anyway, but like I said, this meter though, like I said, the characters are so homogenized because guess what? You don't have a lot of different characters where like back in the day, which this fucking idiot didn't get, not every character poked the same way. That's why I said I gave the examples. Ken should not have a stand fierce. Ken having a stand fierce that you cannot crouch, that you can drive, that you can like Slimer, you know what I mean? All this kind of stuff. It's cancelable, all this kind of stuff. You can't duck it. A Shoto character shouldn't have a move like that. They already have fireballs and all this kind of stuff. You're making characters that should not be able to poke in ways that other characters could because that made that character special. So yes, you're making characters more homogenized, different shades of gray. Shoto should not be able to poke like other characters. Right? Just like I've talked about DPs how many fucking times, and I talked about EX moves, EX moves are so fucking terrible, terrible EX moves. If you want to have EX moves in one fucking video game, fine, because every game needs to be different. So we'll have EX moves in this game, right? But don't put them in every game because they're terrible, right? And I've used the Ryu example. Ryu's a great example. Ryu should be the character. What makes Ryu special? Ryu can win a fireball war, right? That makes him special because he has a super fireball. But if you have generic EX moves, guess what? Everyone can now win a fireball war if they have a fireball. that automatically makes the game more homogenized. It makes Ryu less special. Automatically. Just like having all these EX moves and EX moves, what are most, and a lot of EX moves too, besides EX fireballs, to just, to go through a fireball, a lot of EX moves throughout the history of fighting games, and some fucking idiot is going to try to pretend to be smart. Oh, what about Kyo's EX grab and King of Fighters 13? Yeah, okay. You're talking about the fucking exception to the rule, dude. Most EX moves in fighting games, guess what? They're just the move. It hits a few more times, or now the move juggles, or now the move gives it back its original property, like a Dragon Punch. Guess what? Oh, we're going to have EX moves. Well, fuck, what are you going to do with the EX Dragon Punch? Well, I guess we could make it juggle, and now it's going to be invincible. But it was already invincible before. Oh, well, hey, Clayton, now it's meter management. Now you need to use meter to get the original use of the move. And I'm like, yeah, but now you have these other, let's say, quasi moves, quasi DPs that were not, let's say, as good as a Dragon Punch in a game without EX moves. And it's like, well, fuck, if everyone's going to have an EX move, you know what I mean? Now we're going to give everyone the quotation marks, same kind of Dragon Punch property. Everyone's going to have that same invincible Dragon Punch. Look at a game like fucking Super Turbo, what I showed that with that recent example. Guess what? Ryu has a Dragon Punch, right? We know generally invincible if it's super, super and below. Generally invincible the whole time, right? Now, if we take a character like Geef, he still has that, quotation marks invincible lariat. But the lariat does have a bit of a hurt box and a hitbox on it, or a hitbox or hurt box for him or whatever. So there's different kind of mind games that you can use, different kind of moves that you could space it out. You know what I mean? Say like Balrog. Balrog has a very invincible DP in Super Turbo, but guess what? It's very slow. You know what I mean? They're very characters. That's why I say it's so amazing that these archaic games are somehow more complicated than new games if you actually think about it, right? Street Fighter 6 does absolutely nothing for the grand spectrum of what a fighting game can be besides my meter versus your meter. In this mental stack of always being like, well, do I want to save my meter for here? Do I want to save my card for this? Do I want to save my card for this? Because he might do this move here. So maybe I'm going to save this meter for here. You know what I mean? That's the only thing it does. But because the characters are so homogenized and there's such a generalized idea of this does this is your move that does this, they all use the meter in the same fucking way, dude. It's insane, dude. People are fucking retards. Fucking Street Fighter expert. Oh my god. Street Fighter expert. You're intelligible. You're irrational. You have no idea. You've never played a Street Fighter game before. All moves always hit you ducking. Oh my god. Can you imagine? I've already been sick and bad for almost an entire day now. And can you imagine the pain? Reading stuff like that. Why do I oh my god. Waking up to these stupid men. That guy's like, oh, well, no, that's not true because you can use a super to beat a drive impact too. Oh my god, so yes, you can use meter to beat someone else's meter. That's the entire game. You proved me right. Did you watch the video? Oh my god. Jesus. Tom, dude. My pain. The pain, dude. The pain, Bob. An emergency C-section is required to remove you from my life. Jesus. Oh my god. Dude. Christ, dude.